We need a new January 6th Security Committee. A security committee to investigate January 6th failures at the United States Capitol.
Oh, he comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is my moment.
I would pay to see
I've
that.
been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy.
We did not get the whole story from the first Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. The Select Committee was forged from Speaker Pelosi's contempt for the president who was officially elected in 2016. The final report of the Select Committee was based on a total lie that there were thousands of armed rioters.
Were armed and angry.
These people have no weapons!
The same report only identifies one person who brought a gun inside the Capitol. Outside the Capitol building, the rioting started after the Capitol had already been breached. What happened outside the Capitol building had nothing to do with the claim of armed rioters storming the Capitol. Inside the Capitol building there were plenty of guns, but the people holding the guns were security and police. Inside the Capitol most of the officers just stood around and said nothing. None of the officers were telling the protesters to leave. At least one officer told the protesters they had the right to peacefully protest.
We're going to be heard. Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This has to be peaceful. We have the right to peacefully assemble.
Ashley Babbitt was killed while officers with guns stood within a few feet of her and did nothing to protect her. There was one officer that looked like he was trying to redirect the protesters away from senators. However, instead of telling the protesters they had to leave, he poked them and got a group to follow him upstairs to the main Senate chamber entrance. We are told the protesters interrupted an official proceeding, but when the protesters got to the Senate chamber it was already empty. There was nothing going on to interrupt. There were plenty officers that could have told them the Senate chamber was off limits, but the officers said nothing and let them go inside the unlocked Senate chamber. What I am getting to is there was no attempted insurrection. There was just very bad security. We need a new committee. I suggest the new committee be called Security Committee to investigate January 6th failures at the United States Capitol. The purpose of this new committee will be to investigate what went so wrong with security on January 6th. The Security Committee will focus their investigation on the causes of the poor security. The Security Committee will try to answer questions like the following. 1. Was the poor security intentional in an attempt to frame President Trump? 2. Was the National Guard kept away intentionally to create the illusion of an insurrection? 3. Was the purpose of the fake insurrection story to give the Democrats something to use in the election certification debates? 4. 2 of the 4 debates over election integrity issues were denied. Was the big lie an intentional tool to implement the big deny? What I mean by the big deny is that the big lie was used to stop investigations into issues with the 2020 election integrity. Everyone agrees that there were issues, but before all the issues could be investigated, the investigations were stopped. We have been told there was no evidence of voter fraud. The problem with the big lie is that no one is looking to blame voters as the cause of the issues. There were many issues. Issues like what was the software update to the voting system that was implemented during the process of counting the votes? Was it legal to change the software while the vote counting process was being performed? The people at the Capitol on January 6th were not protesting a lie, they were protesting a deny. Maybe there is no big deny conspiracy, but if we do not investigate what went wrong with the security at the Capitol on January 6th, we will always feel like there was a big deny. We need a security committee to investigate. Do not deny us the answers we want.